Diplomacy consists in petting the dog until the muzzle is ready. A warm welcome. Today we delve into the life and thought of the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Born in Prussia in 1844, Nietzsche is a key figure of the 19th century whose groundbreaking ideas and provocative views have had a lasting impact on philosophy, literature, and culture. In his works, including Thus Spoke Zarathustra and Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche turned conventional thought patterns on their head, coined concepts such as the superhuman and the will to power, and challenged people to create their own values. Although he was often misunderstood during his lifetime, Nietzsche posthumously inspired generations of thinkers, writers, and artists. Today, his thoughts remain an inexhaustible source of inspiration and discussion about the foundations of human thought and action. Let us now enjoy his quotes and draw inspiration and wisdom from them. Some do not become thinkers only because their memory is too good. Many are stubborn about the path once taken, few about the destination. What child would not have reason to cry over his parents? Rather from whole wood an enmity than a glued friendship. Remorse educates to bite. Talking a lot about oneself can also be a means to hide oneself. Smooth ice, a paradise for those who know how to dance well. From what you want to recognize and measure, you must take leave, at least for a time. Only when you have left the city, you see how high its towers rise above the houses. Some do not find their heart until they lose their head. It is useless, one does not forget if one wants to forget. In truth, to want something is to make an experiment to find out what we can. What is done for love always happens beyond good and evil. He who fights with monsters may see that he does not become a monster in the process. Formula of my happiness: a yes, a no, a straight line, a goal. He who does not have 2/3 of his day for himself is a slave. In the mountain of truth, you never climb in vain. Either you get further up today, or you exercise your strength to be able to climb higher tomorrow. Even the most reasonable man needs from time to time again nature, that is, his illogical basic position to all things. Some are made shameful by great praise, and others are made insolent. Not to speak of oneself at all is a very noble hypocrisy. It is not that you lie to me, but that I no longer believe you, that has shaken me. Education is essentially the means to ruin the exception in favor of the rule. Life is worth living, says art, the most beautiful seductress. Life is worth knowing, says science. The good questioner is already half answered. You shall not only plant yourself away, but upward. May the garden of marriage help you to do so. Thoughts are the shadows of our feelings, always darker, emptier, simpler than these. As long as you still feel the stars as above you, you still lack the view of the discerning. Faith makes blessed, consequently it lies. The public easily confuses the one who fishes in the mud with the one who draws from the depths. That which does not kill me makes me stronger. He who feels the unfreedom of the will is insane, he who denies it is stupid. It is as easy to preach morality as it is difficult to justify morality. The mother of debauchery is not joy, but joylessness. Not lack of love, but lack of friendship leads to unhappy marriages. People push themselves towards the light, not to see better, but to shine better. He who does not want to languish among people must learn to drink from all glasses, and he who wants to remain pure among people must know how to wash himself even with dirty water. In peaceful circumstances, the warlike man falls upon himself. Our duties, that are the rights of others on us. Many stubbornly pursue the way, only a few stubbornly pursue the goal. Against one enemy, there is no better antidote than a second enemy. How can man take pleasure in nonsense? For as far as there is laughter in the world, this is the case. Indeed, one may say that almost everywhere there is happiness. There is joy in nonsense. To know means to understand all things for our good. The doctrine of the freedom of the will is an invention of ruling classes. More and more, better and better of your kind shall perish, for you shall have it worse and harder. In this way alone, man grows upward. Obstacles and difficulties are the steps by which we ascend. As soon as you want to act, you must close the door to doubt. No one accuses without the ulterior motive of punishment and revenge, even if one accuses one's fate, even oneself. Laws do not betray what a people is, but what seems strange, weird, monstrous, foreign to them. As if all words were not pockets into which this, that, and more have been put at once. The fantasist denies the truth to himself, the liar only to others. Fanaticism is the only strength of will to which even the weak and uncertain can be brought. I understand by spirit, as you can see, the prudence, the patience, the cunning, the dissimulation, the great self-control, and everything that is mimic. Write with blood, and you will learn that blood is spirit. You should not go to churches if you want to breathe pure air. If you want life to be easy, always stay with the flock. The best way to start the day is to think, when you wake up, if you can't make at least one person happy that day. A thinker knows how to take things more simply than they are. What we have words for, we have already gone beyond. In all talk, there is a grant of contempt. To be educated means not to let oneself notice how bad one is. Something short said can be the fruit and harvest of many long thought. The people do not change in principle, only the kind of errors to which they adhere are subject to a certain change. A stone that begins to roll should not be tried to stop, but should be pushed additionally. It is easier to renounce a desire entirely than to be moderate in it. Hope is a much greater stimulation of life than any happiness. All ideals are dangerous, because they degrade and brand the actual. All are poisons, but indispensable as temporary remedies. Courageous people are persuaded to do something by making it seem more dangerous than it is. Philosophy is a kind of revenge against reality. All prejudices come from the bowels. There is more importunity in praise than in blame. Education is the life in the sense of great minds with the purpose of great goals. If one has character, one also has his typical experience, which always comes back. Our opinions, the skin we want to be seen in. History is almost only about bad people who later have been well-spoken. The poets are shameless against their experiences. They exploit them. The profession is a protective defense behind which one can permissibly retreat when concerns and worries of a general nature assail one. A politician divides mankind into two classes, tools and enemies. This means that he knows only one class, enemies. The time for petty politics is over. Already the next century brings the fight for earth domination. The meaning in the customs of hospitality is to paralyze the hostile in the stranger. In the market, no one believes in higher people. Even the bravest of us seldom has the courage of what he actually knows. One takes the unexplained dark thing more important than the explained bright one. He is commanded who cannot obey himself. No, straight facts do not exist, only interpretations. We live in a system in which one must be either a wheel or under the wheels. Among the things which can bring a thinker to despair is the realization that the illogical is necessary for man, and that much good arises from the illogical. The author has to keep his mouth shut when his work opens its mouth. The higher we rise, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Wishing is a sign of recovery or improvement. I do not want, once and for all, to know many things. Wisdom also draws the boundaries of knowledge. It is the quietest words that bring the storm. Thoughts, which come with dove's feet, steer the world. Civilization is the forced animal taming of man. Who knows how to breathe the air of my writings knows that it is an air of height, a strong air. One must be created for it, otherwise the danger of catching cold in it is not small. What is the truth? A mobile army of metaphors. Truth is the kind of error without which a certain kind of living being could not live. Nowhere do false music and crooked notes sound better than when it is against a common enemy. One must not talk about one's friends, otherwise one betrays the feeling of friendship. I have given the Germans the deepest books that they possess, reason enough that the Germans don't understand a word of it. I believe because I am senseless. One must have one thing, either a naturally easy sense or a sense facilitated by art and knowledge. The truths are illusions of which we have forgotten that they are. Most people are apparently accidental in this world. There is no necessity of a higher kind in them. They do this and that, their talent is mediocre. The way they live shows that they think nothing of themselves. They give themselves away by throwing themselves away on lumpiness. The philosopher does not seek the truth, but the metamorphosis of the world into man. He struggles for an understanding of the world with self-consciousness. What is the most human thing? To spare someone shame. That was today's episode about Friedrich Nietzsche. We hope you enjoyed it, and that we got you thinking. We would appreciate a like and subscription. See you next time and stay healthy.